Got our little construction project in the works down there. The guy said it looks like we're building a lemonade stand, but y'all know we're not. We're building a new chicken coop design that we want to try out. We'll go down and take a closer look at it. But first, we don't have money trees, but let's go check the money makers in the yard. Good morning, feathered friends. How is everybody today? Y'all are going to need some feed ration added. Good morning. Good morning. We do have a couple eggs to gather. Great moment to get Morticia and Elvira side by side there. And behind them is Puffy Cheeks. And here's Phoebe right beside me, as usual. Let's grab those eggs. I think she must have been voted speaker for the group. She'd even taken the podium right there. I think they're telling me, fill the feeders, fill the feeders. So, as I said, not a money tree, but they do lay eggs that we sell. There's one of the Marans that jumped up there. They do make eggs that we sell, and it does turn a small profit margin, but don't let anybody convince you that you're going to make big money off selling eggs, because it's not big money. Okay, so trying to get feed for my hens. This is small farm life. I might be losing my mind. So I came up here to where the egg layers live, and no feed. There's no feed in the feed bin. So I walked down the garage thinking maybe it got offloaded there and didn't get carried up to the hen house, and I didn't see it. So I walked back up to the hen house, asked my husband, is there layer feed still? Because I'm pretty sure there is. He says, yeah, it's down in the garage. I'm like, where in the garage? I've already been there. So I'm back, going to the garage. In more buckets. Hopefully there's feed because they want to eat. So also this morning, waiting on, oh, I just looked in the wrong place. There it is. So also this morning, waiting on a meat pickup customer and an egg pickup client. So, it's a busy morning, and Jared's working on the building. So hang with me. We will go see it. Just give you a lowdown on where we're at, work in progress. But he set aside today to finish it. So, I'll have to get the feed here. There was something else I was going to tell y'all. If it comes to me, I'll mention. But yeah, I did. It came to me, but I'll get the feed first and then tell you about it. I was going to talk a little bit about the money on the laying hens. Let's get some feed. Okay, feed's ready to go. Carry this back up. Okay, so that made everybody happy. So we'll get feed to the other group too. But, you know, I don't think I've ever shared this number. With the hens that we currently have in egg production, there's about 54 of them in egg production, in our egg production flocks right now. And they're at about 50% production. So we're only getting about 2 dozen eggs a day, and 100% production, we should be getting at least 4 dozen sellable eggs a day. So at 50% production, a rounded off estimate is we make approximately $100 a month profit margin on the egg production flocks. Okay, and this is the other hen house. Just filled their feeders with their feed ration as well. So that $100 a month is taken in consideration. We already have the housing, we already have the hens, and the household is absorbing the utilities of the electric and the water. So all we're taking out of the profit loss formula there, when I gave you that $100 a month profit margin from the hens' eggs when they're at 50% production for us. Of course, that has correlation to the scale you're at, what money you're going to make. And like I said, since we're absorbing the utilities and we already have the hens and already have the shelter, then that's only taken into consideration the feed, okay? The feed cost. So with having the flocks already established and the infrastructure established, you get to a point where you can potentialize with scale. So in other words, you know, if you want to make more, you got to scale up. But then of course that requires what? You buy hens and provide shelter. So you might have extra shelter ready to go, but you still have to buy hens, right? So all those things are going to go into your money. But if we keep our flocks around 60 hens, we should undoubtedly, if we keep our flocks around 60 hens and we manage for taking hens out of the flock as they get to be about 2.5 years old and putting hens in the flock so that we always have layers that are in the 1 to 3 year old range. And if we do that at the scale of about 60 hens, we should be able to expect, we'll probably get close to 5 dozen eggs laid a day. They might not all be sellable every day, every egg every day. So we should be able to expect to get 4 dozen sellable eggs a day if we can keep a flock of 60 hens at 100% production. So when we can do that, we can realize about $200 profit margin over a month's time. So for us, we keep the egg chickens not because it's big money, but because it works well as a complement to the meat bird sales program and production program, and it's a farm staple. So you know, so it gives us that connection to clients that want farm to table food and whole food sourced directly from farmers. So feed wise, for our almost 60 hens that are in egg production for us, about 400 pounds of feed a month. So obviously the cost of that is going to depend on feed costs in your area, and impacting your profit margin is going to also include what you sell your eggs for. So this is January 29th, 2025. Here locally, at a local grocery store, we're seeing eggs 18 count. White eggs 18 count. I saw $9.99, and they're telling me like dozens, store eggs are like $6.99, $7 a dozen. So we sell ours for 3 dozen. Maybe that's why we have a waiting list of 28 dozen. I don't know, but we've always sold it 3 dozen. We're going $3 a dozen. We're going to keep it there as long as we can. If feed doesn't go up significantly, I'm not going to raise the price. So I like $3 a dozen for us, because if for some reason I'd have a partial dozen, I could only fill a partial dozen, $3 divides evenly to 25 cents an egg. And so 25 cents an egg to me is ultimate value meal, right? So anyway, so we will take a peek at the building. So we'll head down there. There's one of the leghorns coming out here. So we do have these. Oh, there's also one of the Americanas or Easter eggers. She was purchased as an Americana. I guess I'm in the habit of calling them Easter eggers. So the chickens currently do have these attached runs that are small, so they overwhelmed the vegetation in them early on. But we're hoping where we move them to, we can fence in kind of a significant area and use some rotational principles so that we can give them the opportunity to stay on grass more frequently. Just like it's like a basket of eggs, but it's a valuable commodity right there. All right, so Jared's working on the new chicken coop. So we've been really debating about how we wanted to design it, but right now he's working on the material that's going to make it possible to have the overhang. So that takes some different steps, and that's a trim piece, more or less, I think called an F channel, that he just put up there, that is because of the overhang. So So the basic design is just going to be that it's got that T111 on the bottom half, and that it's going to have, it's like a clear corrugated panel that would be similar to like a greenhouse siding that's going to be on the upper half of that. I said in the beginning, the guys were joking, it looks like a lemonade stand, like we're building a lemonade stand. So that piece right there is called fascia, I believe, that Jared's getting out. So that goes on the fascia. Well, it's called fascia and it goes on the fascia. So what does that mean? The soffit goes on the underside of the overhang. The fascia holds the soffit. Yeah. Okay. So and there's y'all saw the door we've repurposed from the house that we're going to put on this. So the door will go on this side. The roof will just be galvanized metal, and eventually the T111 may be painted, which is just aesthetics. Really doesn't have anything to do with how it functions for the chickens. We are going to cut in on that back lower part of the wall down toward the bottom a chicken door for them, and there'll probably be, you know, a ramp going out from it, just kind of like, y'all probably can't see them on the chicken house now as it is, but just like we have over there, we have chicken doors with a little ramp leading down into their run. So hoping on the back side of that, like where Jared is, there might be a fence line, and then where they can go out their chicken door will lead into chicken paddock. So I think the overhang is going to be a project that consumes some time. So that's why Jared set aside the day to work on this. But I think the hope is the building itself will be completed today. And then we'll have to kind of take stock of where we're at on things. Maybe we can move chickens in Friday. But we've also been talking a lot about the size and how many chickens will fit in here. So thinking about doing a separate standalone video on stocking density again for the egg chickens. But truly, the true comfort zone, for me at least, for egg chickens, for stocking density, and stocking density means floor space, quantity of floor space relative to quantity of birds within your coop. And of course, for livestock, it's impacted by how much outside access they have, and the chickens really also benefit from outside access. But my comfort zone for stocking density inside the coop is really about 4 square foot per bird. So that's what we would aim for. So this one is an 8x8 little footprint, so 64 square feet. So really, that sounds like maximum birds we should put in there is probably about 16. So at that scale, it would take us several of these buildings to house our whole egg production flock. So that's something we're going to have to kind of work out, because that's ultimately, we're trying to get all the egg production chickens up here, and the meat bird barn is down behind our house, and so the egg chickens would be up here instead. We were pricing some automatic chicken coop doors, so this is where we're thinking we would do a little chicken door. It'd be great to do like a solar or automatic one, something like that. Everything I'm seeing was in the $150 to $200 range. Y'all feel free to shout out if you have any recommendations on automatic chicken doors and price points. Put it in the comments there. We'll use it in our research. Some of our snow cover is starting to melt off, so that's nice. Still have, this is a south facing slope, but you know, we still have places that are covered in snow. I have seen the chickens using their runs a little more. I thought we had a couple out here, but just like talking about the profit margin and talking about the building down there, it's pretty clear to all of us that we're not going to make big money off of a backyard setting egg sales business, but every little bit helps. And we kind of look at it two ways. As I mentioned previously, you know, it's a companion product to what we're doing with our meat birds. We were selling eggs before we had meat birds, but once we started doing that, we realized the eggs is a companion product, plus the eggs is a whole product. Like, nobody comes and asks us for half an egg, you know, and seldom does anybody ask for half a dozen. It's just accepted that if somebody wants eggs, they're asking for a dozen eggs, and there's no question about it. We don't piece it out or part it out. With selling meat from meat birds, you know, that's the thing that, like, sometimes people want whole chickens, but most of the time people want a part of that chicken. So we're taking the chickens to the processor. We're upfronting that cost, the processing cost. We're having it made into a custom order, and then, you know, we're parting it out. Some people are buying chicken breasts, some people are buying drumsticks, some people are buying wings, etc. So the eggs is a nice complement to the meat business that way. Also, the second thing is we look at it long term. So, you know, if we know long range, well, if we manage the flock a certain way and as well as possible, we know that we can potentialize $200 a month, you know, off of this scale of flock. So, you know, if we look long range, so if we can realize $200 a month, that's $2,400 a year. So are we putting that in our pocket and calling it fun money? No, we're not. But we can put it in a new chicken coop every year, or a new fence one year, or upgrade to their housing annually. So, you know, that's the thing with the egg business, I guess, on the small scale, is you're looking at the long range. It's probably not going to be, if you're looking at it from keeping it going and keeping the hens 100% productive, you have to take into account keeping their housing updated, keeping their needs met, and keeping the age of the hens at basically 1 to 3 years old that's in your production flock. So, you know, those are going to take some management and some money. But if you look at it over the long range and you keep those management principles prioritized, and you can, like in our instance with that scale of flock, you know, realize $200 a month. So we know we can plan on $2,400 a year, most likely, from them, that we're not going to put in our pocket, but we're going to put back into that small farm business and help strengthen it month to month and year to year. So it's a great compliment. But anyway, we are excited about the new coop. There are some of the girls coming out, venturing out. More of their run is exposed soil now. So our hens did not want to be in the snow at all. So while we had total snow cover and frigid temperatures, they chose to stay in their hen houses all the time. So the situation with them for their hen house is actually their door is open 24/7. They have totally unrestricted access to the runs. And then when we're able to let them out, they do get on grass when we can be here to kind of closely supervise, because actually this tree line is a favorite hangout of hawks. So hawks are a big predator risk for us here. But anyway, so we'll keep you posted on the chicken coop, and hope to see some finished product and do some short videos of it. They won't be shorts, they'll still be videos. But anyway, hope to get some of that pretty soon. And thanks for joining in today. Thanks for sticking with me, hearing about kind of the money side of the egg part of our flocks. So we'll just let it roll up to 19 minutes here with some shots of the chickens. So thanks, y'all. Many blessings to you.